I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakadash, the wellness of the apostles and elders of great millstone, and all the Akim out there that he pushing the truth with nothing but sincerity in the name of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. So, today, I wanted to speak upon, Esau, Edom. And they're probably going to take this video down, but, it is what it is. Because I was thinking, man, and I was like, you got to know who your enemy is, especially someone that's coming in this truth. You find out that you're Israelite, right? But then at the same time, like how, there's movies, that's always the good guy and bad guy. There's the good guy and there's the bad guy. But in order for you to know who the bad guy is, you got to identify him first, So you got to make sure who your enemy is. Because you got to be careful who to trust, though, You just never know. But being the truth, we know who to trust, though. And with that, I'm most likely to call this video "Who's the King of the Hill?" So, because a hill, a mountain, in Bible, it's a government. So, it's a government. The mountain, when you see them, when you see mountains in the Bible, that's what it is. And like I said, man, so-called, you know, Esau, Edom, is the white man, man. So like I said, man, they're probably gonna take this video down and shit though, but hopefully that's brothers could see this. And I don't hesitate to say who it is though, but you know how YouTube is. If it was me in person, then no, YouTube, then I'll tell you how it is. But we gotta be a little careful because this is the devil's platform, and well, it's not. It's his device, but this is our platform, as a we could express, we could tell you how it is. But you know how it is though. So exactly what I'm gonna get at too, because it's his device and he could shut you down. So something like where you're driving a car and the devil just drives behind you and can find any excuse to get your car impounded. Yeah, the car is under your name, it's on the pink slip, but guess what? The devil could take away your car, could get that shit impounded. See? So I said what I said, and I said what the devil is. And let me break it down and tell you why. Because in reality, we don't control Israelites. As Israelites, we don't rule anything over this earth. We don't rule the earth. The banking family, the people that write the checks, they're all Edomites. They're all Esau. The government, who's in the White House right now? We don't control anything, man. My boss's bosses is Esau, is an Edomite. You see? So we don't run shit, man. Because if we ran shit, you would have seen a so-called Ishkarat or so-called Judah more in the White House, running that shit though. But guess what? The politicians, the Republicans, the Democrats, if you look who they really are, they're all Edomites. Who's the one that gives supplies or runs the earth, man? Who put people in captivity besides the Muslims and the Hamites, which is the African, not the African American Slovakia, the Africans are the Hamites. Because remember, they were Egyptians though back then. But that's for another whole lesson. I'll probably make a lesson about the Hamites, who the true Hamites are. And by the way, the Egyptians and shit, the Egyptians And that's, you know what I mean? That's how it is, man. The so-called Jews and shit, the Amalekites, they're not even the real Jews, man. And that's for another lesson. But this lesson, I'm gonna focus is on Esau, Edom. You gotta know who your true enemy is. But you know, to identify them, you gotta identify them, of course, through the spirit, though. But I just want to give like a little lesson on why, who I said earlier is Edomite, and then you don't want to be Esau. Esau is the bad person in the Bible. So I'm gonna get some precepts because first things first, man. First things first. I'm gonna start off with this. If you know what leprosy is a disease. You know, it's a disease. So it's a disease that's on the skin, right? Leprosy. So leprosy was even back then in times the ancient days. People had a leprosy back then. The sister of Moses, for punishment, Miriam, she got leprosy, but I forgot what it was though. But she ended up getting it though. Moses put his hand in his bosom and he pulled it out. He had it was leprosy. Then he put it back in and it went back to normal. Well, it goes to show that Moses was an Edomite. He wasn't so-called white. So let me get a Leviticus 13 and 3. This is Leviticus 13 and 3. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, exactly what I said. What it says here, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin, be deeper in the skin of his flesh. So that's passing the hair. It is a plague of leprosy. You see? But it tells you all that right here. And look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy. So it's like white, you know? So that's what it is, man. Leprosy is like white, man. So when it says Ishem, pronounce him unclean. And then 4, if the bright spot be white in the skin of the flesh, and sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof not be turned white, then the priest shall shut him up that had the plague 7 days. So it ain't like, so if it's not no more like it's white though, God put him away, man, because he's still unclean. So he has to make sure that he stays for 7 days at least though. You see what I'm saying? So this leprosy, it's unclean though. So it's a plague that, and this is something that, you know, us Israelites, I mean, you know, we come like, you know, sand of the sea though. We're so spread out there though. But you gotta judge by the flesh though. Cause you know, that's how it is. So, you know what I mean? So that's the thing about it though. And you know, Esau was someone that was a twin of Jacob. But when Esau was born, so this is, by the way, this is leprosy, right? You know, now you know what leprosy is, man. It's a plague. So upon going back to where Genesis, is Esau, right? Esau, when he was born, see right here, and first came out in 24, and when their days be delivered, which the birth were fulfilled, and behold, there were twins in a room. And the first came out red all over like in hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. and first came out all red all over and like a hairy garment. So he was red all over. He was red all over and shit though. When a Jake baby, a so-called baby, when he be born or she's not all red. I remember when my son was born, he wasn't all red. So they want to say it's because when you give birth though, they want to go literal. When you give birth though, the baby comes red, things like that. Yeah, I mean, there's some Ishkarites that are very very light complected though, but it's to the skin though. But they're still to the spirit. They're Israelites. But why did this one specifically came out red like that? You know? You ever seen Edomite get so mad though, or he be in the sun, turns red. And by the way, they're not even white. They're red. So that's what I'm trying to talk about, man. So a garment is like a all over, man. So just think about that, man. So Esau, right? Red though. So yeah, so you know, and then it was through time that let me get Genesis 30. And it says, "Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir." Esau is Edom, which is the descendants of Edomites, or the descendants of Esau, right? So they dwelt in Mount Seir. They dwelt in the mountains, though. Why is it that so-called white people, they're called Caucasians? Because they like going on mountains, though. If you notice, though, man, they like climbing mountains, though. They do. Because there was a time, though, when Jake was taken over 1,000 years. They call it Esau, and then they called it the Dark Ages and shit. But that was when Jacob, they were taking over though. This the what I mean. There was that time though. So I got this book right here. I'll show you real quick. The 13th tribe, and this is just Esau try to add, to be the tribe though. But these, so pretty much, they were in a was it above by Russia or somewhere, and they ended up going up there though because they're running away from the Jakes though, you know, and so they're hiding in mountains though. They're hiding by mountains. How do you think they got the name Caucasian though? And how is it coincidentally they like to climb mountains too? They like to go hiking and shit. So they were in Mount Seir, and that's the thing about it, man. That they like to do shit like that. So in order to know, you gotta know who your enemy is, man. And all the brothers know this precept right here, and how I was talking about earlier, who controls the world, who does all these things. This is Job 9 and 24, right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That clarifies everything though. So therefore, like I was saying earlier, we don't run anything though. We don't run anything in the society. Esau does. Huh? So who is he though? He covered the faces of the judges. Or if not, where and who is he? And it goes to show who the devil is, man. He is though. You know them. You know governments and all them. They don't believe in God, man. Because they so-called believed in God, they would have had they would have been more talking about the Bible and you know what I mean the and presidential running candidates and shit like that, man. But they don't, man. They just focus on the country, though. You know, they would have been trying to hit some precepts or do some shit like that. But that just goes to show, man. They believe within their self, man. 'Cause look what Elon Musk though, and what's going on nowadays, and shit with this whole technology thing. They believe they believe in technology, man. They don't believe in the Bible. They believe in technology. They're trying to expand their technology, therefore letting you know that they don't believe, man. Because there's some jakes out there, at least they believe, but they're in the wrong doctrine. They ain't spiritual, man. These people right here that run the earth, they ain't spiritual. So that's what just goes to show letting you know, man. Yeah, it just goes to show letting you know who they are, really are, though. Because no matter what, just say what they want to say, man. Because we don't judge the what is it? I know it's in the book of John. Let me get it real quick. Lock it out real quick. Lock it out. Yeah, forgot what I know it's the book of John, but yeah, we don't judge the flesh. We judge the spirit, though, man. So that's how it is. And you know the funny thing too is like, so I have my binder, right? I have this binder, and let's lock it. I'm just gonna look for something real quick. Oh, and by the way, look. Besides this part, all Israelites, by the way, dwell within the Americas. All Israel. We don't run all poverty. These countries, from Mexico all the way down to Chile, poverty, man, poverty. That's what Esau don't be coming over here though to live over here. Some probably do though, but not the majority up here. You know, and all these are poverty. All these countries are poverty, man, because they literally migrate up to come to a better countries, and that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? You know, that's the way it is. So let me real quick so I can look for that the page though, because they're the ones that keep us in captivity, man. So I get man. Just looking for that. Trying to look for that paper. Alright, found it. So to be sold, this is slavery, right? In those times. Well, they were called Hebrews, right? The Hebrews, the Africans, the Hamites that were selling to the English and Britain and all them, the Esau, which Esau is the ones that brought the Hebrews to the Americas, which is that'll be another lesson. They're the ones that they were called Hebrews, man. They were literally called Hebrews. So they were getting sent. Now I actually made a video about that. And yeah, man, but look at, man, you telling me history don't repeat itself, right? So this is pretty much, look at, what do you have here? Esau, the big long hats, right? And then these were the Israelites, the Hebrews, find Hebrews. And say, look at right here. Before they were labeled Negroes and the threaded N word that I won't mention, they were known by the true heritage Hebrews, Israelites from the tribe of Judah. And look what you got here. Slaves. Look at that. Esau right there. And you got slaves right here. All chained up though and everything. You see? So now trip on this other page. Boom. Esau right there. Us Israelites, man. Has anything changed? Nope. Anything changed though? Nah. Things hasn't changed though, man. So that just letting you know, man, who Esau is, man. Because they control everything. Like I said, they're probably gonna take this video down. I know for a fact though. But it is what it is, man. So it's just letting you know that you gotta know who you. This devil, man, makes you do things. It makes you celebrate the American dream, right? It makes you celebrate shit that is against the Most High. It makes you go off though, celebrate Christmas and shit. But look at 10:2. It says, "Thus saith the Most High." Learn not the way of the heathen, and not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the custom of the people are vain, vanity. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, and work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that is move not. The tree doesn't move, man. But see, that's what I'm saying. Since for not customs are vain, we're not supposed to be doing all this shit, man. The American, you know how to say the American way, a lot of American things is going off, man. And Israelites, we don't run America. You're not USA, we don't run this shit though. Esau does, man. So, just letting you know, man, who your enemy is, man. And they are the fucking devil, man. Cause they this whole vaccination shit, they want you to take it though, but that's going off though because you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to puncture. You're not supposed to puncture anything in your skin, man. Cause let me try something. And they make you do things that is going against the Most High, and they're deceivers, man. They deceive you. So you gotta make sure to be careful though, because you gotta know your identity, and then you gotta know who your enemy is, and that's how things are, man. So like it's taking kind of long. Never done this before. It's kind of weird. See, it's probably the devil trying to make me not get my lesson together. You know, you know how it works though. But yeah, so you're not supposed to talk about that, but you're not supposed to puncture anything in your skin, man. Yeah, and then read more into the Khazar Empire, who they are though. They live right there by the Caucasian Mountains and shit. The Caucasian Mountains that actually do exist, and they think they're by Russia, Russia next to Russia or something like that though. But that's the thing, man. And remember this too though. Before I close out, remember this too. Goats like to climb fucking mountains. Goats represents that satanic cult shit, you know. So just remember that though. And I'll probably make a part two. Who knows though? But see what they do with this video. Hopefully they don't take it down. But hopefully this video is edifying. All praise and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakadash, the true one, only holy power of Israel. So with that, to the next one I say, Shalom.